We've made it! After endless arsons, homicides, and a few instances of Grand Theft Auto, Team Mario make it to the first piece of solid ground known as Bowser Land. Before their eyes is an eternally sprawling series of buildings, towers, and palaces, with vast stretches of cityscape and generous pools of boiling lava. But only one point of interest in the land will be visited in our tour today: Bowser's Castle. Don't be upset. Those looking for the complete Bowser Land tour can speak to our receptionist back in the Mushroom Kingdom to arrange a future expedition. Today, however, we will simply tackle the megalopolis capital of Bowser Land and home of its esteemed monarch, King Bowser himself. Allow me to quickly break down the magnitude of the massive estate known as Bowser's Castle. Surrounding the entire perimeter of the grounds is a tremendous defense wall that reaches above the rooftops of Bowser Castle City, but still pales in height to the castle itself. Immediately beyond the front gates of the wall that visitors pass through is the capital borough of Bowser Castle City. One truly feels the power of the Koopa Kingdom upon first setting foot into the Onyx City and witnessing the gigantic castle rising behind it. Yeah, we made it! I don't know how we made it here after all that, but I'm glad we're finally back on track. What did I tell you earlier, brother? You must have faith. The stars will always guide us to where we belong. That's beautiful, Mario. Okay, enough of the mushy stuff. We've got a whole castle to crash. At that moment, a cannonball flies furiously above the group's heads. Think they heard us coming? A fireball whizzes by. Bowser knows damn well why we're here. They're ready. Bowser Castle City sits directly in front of the castle and, as such, mostly houses workers when they are not toiling away in the castle proper. Members from all ranks of the Koopa clan can be found here: Koopas, Hammer Bros, Spinies, Boom Booms, and many more. While all of the most important political decisions are made within the castle's great walls, the abutting city itself is more of a business site rather than an exciting social hub. Still, history buffs will have their hands full with the storied tales of Koopa antiquity. Alert to tourists: keep your wallets and valuables close and try not to look directly into the eyes of any city natives. That said, the lively people of Bowser Castle City are mostly peaceful. There's too many of them. They have cannons everywhere. Hold strong, brother. Glory awaits us. This is a worthy battlefield to share with my brothers in arms. You have my sword. And you have my bombs. And you, my bow. Charge! At the far end of the Obsidian City, as it's called by Bowserlandians, is a gorgeous restoration of the original bridge that led into the throne room of Bowser's first castle. Given new life and new purpose, the bridge, nicknamed the Tongue by locals, now serves as the crossing over the moat of lava from the city to the red metal front doors of Bowser's castle. Why do they call the bridge the Tongue, you ask? Well, that should be obvious to anyone standing at the city side of the span looking towards the castle. Gratuitously adorning the main entrance to the castle is a behemoth statue of King Bowser's face, and the only way into the Capitol building is across the bridge that leads directly into the statue's mouth, behind which can be found the great doors leading inside. In typical Bowser fashion, the imposing statue/entryway has been rigged to expel overwhelming bursts of fire towards oncomers. Rest assured, this feature is normally not activated, but due to current security concerns, the lethal defense mechanism has been turned up to full blast to deter intruders. Mario and company skillfully time their runs between the pyroclastic waves, blowing chunks of brick off of the statue's face on their way through. All members accounted for, Mario took the nearby replica castle axe and took a single mighty swing that collapsed the entire bridge, returning the relic to the lake of fire below. Hey yo, Mario, that's our only way out of here. Nobody in, nobody out. It's just us and them from here on. Purge the house of filth and make it clean. Wait, you do know another way for us to get out of here, right, Mario? This is it, folks. You're in a real house of royalty. Show of hands, who here has also visited Peach's castle in the Mushroom Kingdom? Oh, that's a lot of you. You're all real professional tourists. Welcome to Bowser's Castle, home of the Royal Koopa clan, seat of the king, and the center of Koopadom worldwide. Please be sure to wipe your feet on the way in and anoint yourself in the supplied chrism by the front doors. Bowser's Castle is every bit as large as you would expect from a kingdom of such plentiful resources. Absolutely dwarfing the already impressive city below, the castle can best be described as multiple castles built on top of each other. Each major section of the building has a different design motif and architectural style, progressing from vintage to modern as one ascends within. Due to the unfathomable scope of the castle's interior, we will be dividing up this portion of the tour into 3 sections. The first section begins as soon as one enters Bowser's Castle, as visitors are greeted by a great hall given a dash of accent from a large crimson carpet at the center. Leading up from the ground level is a glamorous staircase offering passage to both the basement as well as to the secondary Great Hall in the rear. Yes, there are 2 Great Halls. No expense was spared in the build of the castle. There's also normally a lift leading to a door to the upper chambers, but the lift appears to have been temporarily removed. Likely more security concerns. The secondary Great Hall is an exact mirror replica of the primary hall, so not much explanation is necessary. Team Mario is quickly hailed by a trio of Magic Koopas after neglecting to wipe their feet on the doormat. An altercation ensues, but our heroes are ultimately allowed progress. Within the 2 upper chambers above the halls and the 2 lower chambers in the basements below can be found a Koopaling in each, specifically Iggy, Larry, Lemmy, and Morton Koopa Jr. When not busy doing their daily duties, the Koopalings are generally considered to be quite cordial to talk to. For best results, avoid topics surrounding their parentage. That said, Lemmy was quoted as shouting, quote, "Suck my balls" to the gang during their meeting. Lemmy could not be reached for a comment on the vulgarity. Koopalings dispatched, Mario and crew make their way beyond the secondary Great Hall and enter an attached tower which they must climb to reach the chamber leading to the second major section of Bowser's Castle. Guarding the only door forward and positioned on another lava bridge is once more the Magic Koopa trio from before, this time juiced up with some serious Mega Mushroom sauce. Not to be dissuaded by the wizard's girth, Mario and gang valiantly break through the enemy formation. Once all on the other side, Mario again takes a nearby replica castle axe and severs the ties holding the lava bridge high above a pit leading down to the basement boils below. That's half of the Koopalings. The rest must be holed up deeper. You keep cutting off our paths back out of here, Mario. What gives? Bowser can summon his entire army from far and wide to flood this castle right now. We're not giving him a chance to catch up. We can take him. No, I agree with Mario. Let's use this time to take a break. No time to rest, Louie. If they're not coming at us from the back, they'll definitely be coming at us from the front. We now enter the second major section in our tour of Bowser's Castle. This upper floor is generally considered off-limits to tourists when business is being conducted, but since the door was unlocked, I think it's okay we go in. There's a lot of lava in this region. It's considered decorative, but I think it's just plain inconvenient. To each their own. Emerging from said indoor caldera is Wendy O. Koopa's towering chamber, also housing the bodyguards she always keeps by her side. Further down the stretch of stone and magma can be found Ludwig von Koopa's miniature fortress, said to be impenetrable to those entering alone. Finally, at the far end of this castle's section is a pipe that leads to Roy Koopa's personal training arena. Another vertical shaft adjoins this region that leads up to Bowser Jr.'s room, which also serves as passage to the castle's keep. On a quest to be Bowser's best guardian, Jr. built a large machine attached to the ceiling that allows him to barrage anyone foolish enough to try to cross the lava bridge below him. And he really outdid himself this time. The compact warp machine is completely impervious to Team Mario's attacks. It's no use! He's got that thing sealed up tight! Get the sticker star out of my dad's castle! Never, you little Galumba! Sticker star you, Mario! It was funny and you know it! Mario, I can't keep getting pelted with cannonballs. We need to shut this thing down. Beneath the bridge, looks like a control panel. We won't make the jump. There must be another way around. Another way around there was. The gang managed to break a path under the bridge, gaining them access to the hazardously placed control panel. Once the switch was flipped, Bowser Jr.'s machine was busted and not coming back online anytime soon. Without his battle armor to protect him, Jr. had to take the battle upon his own merit. An image of his father's combat prowess, Bowser Jr. put up a respectable fight, but in the end, could not overcome his 4 opponents. Okay, before we make any hasty decisions, Mario takes the conveniently placed replica castle axe and plummets the lava bridge they now find themselves on the other side of. Mario, I was just about to tell you to hold off on that. I'm really getting worried we're not going to be able to make it out of here without these bridges. Yeah, Mario, I don't know of any other way out of here. This feels like a one-way road. Mario avoids eye contact with his concerned compatriots. Mario? There may not be a return trip.
What?
One of my informants told me the castle's got a secret on-site warhead embedded somewhere in the case of extreme emergencies. Mario... I don't know if we'll even find it, provided it exists. For now, we focus on Bowser. His keep is beyond this door.
You can tell because it's big and red.
It all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen. After tearing through room after room within the ever-spiraling flaming fortress, Mario and team eventually make their way up to the castle keep. This top-floor inner sanctum is Bowser's personal stomping grounds and, as such, is completely forbidden to outsiders. Only the king's most loyal attendants are permitted in this royal rectory. The gang secures their hats and brushes off their shoes in preparation of the final stretch. Sadly, not much is known about the layout of the keep, as Bowser is known to remodel it constantly. Currently, though, it appears that the main chamber is a wide, open space with the floor entirely replaced by lava. Shocker, I know. The only way across is for our crew to hop along the small tower sticking out of the infernal lake. Of course, each tower is loaded with a Mecha Koopa for good measure. In fact, all of the Mecha Koopa units in the castle have been upgraded to the new and improved Blasta and Zappa models, providing extra firepower against intruders. Team Mario manages to bypass the whirlwind of bullets, laser beams, spikes, fireballs, and moving platforms littering the main chamber. Along the way, they find a key that allows them further progression to Bowser's Infernal Arena. This is normally where King Koopa would do battle with the Mario Bros, but today he sent his top advisor and confidant, Kamek, to dispatch the invaders in his stead. Between the pervasive dangers of the arena and the magic bolts from Magic Koopa's demented wand, Kamek puts forth quite the opposition to our heroes. Not enough, however. Kamek is felled, and relinquished is the last key needed to reach Bowser's throne room. Of course, the highest hall in all of Bowserland would not be complete without a grand penultimate staircase leading up to the doors of destiny. Raging fireballs fly past the crew as they make their way up the treads. He's near. Hesitating only long enough for the group to regain composure, Mario throws open the spike-studded door to the throne room. The regal chamber is beautifully adorned with stone columns along the walls and a blood-red carpet leading from the door, across the floor, up a few steps, and ending at the foot of the throne, where King Bowser himself is seated. Intense jets of gaseous fire rise from small grates in the exposed portions of the floor around the throne, creating a terrifying image of Koopa surrounded by plumes of flames.
Koopa! Do you mushheads know just how much your little Rampage has cost me here?
And the debt's still not cleared.
It was a sticker-starring joke, Mario.
Too far. You've gone too far this time. Bowser reaches behind himself to reveal a super mushroom in his hand.
You want payback? Round up your little Galumba friends and meet me on the roof.
At that moment, the entire throne rises out of the ground towards a hole in the ceiling above, with King Koopa still seated the whole time. Mario runs towards the ascending throne, but is too late to stop what is happening. Bowser and seats out of sight, the column ceases rising with a deep thud. Laughter and roars can be heard bellowing from the space above. Sticker Star! Take it easy, Mario. Don't let him get in your head. Yeah, Mario, we got your back. It's 4 against 1. We can't lose. Thanks, guys. I just can't stand how that spiky bastard treats this all like a game. Alright, everyone. Make sure you're all stocked up on 1-ups and super shrooms. We may not win this without power-ups. Right! I guess this pipe over here leads up to the roof. Let's go, Team Mario! It may not be Pokey Peak, but it's certainly up there. From the roof of the castle, one can see the entirety of Bowser Land in all its neon scarlet glory. Right now, though, farsighted visibility is quite limited, as a massive lightning storm is raging in the darkened heavens that the group now finds themselves in. The wind is vicious, the rain oppressive, the lightning blinding, and the thunder like the cry of an enraged god. Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Toadette emerge from the pipe on the far edge of the roof, above the front-facing side of the castle. Standing before them, in the middle of the battlefield, is Bowser, drenched in rain and still clutching the super mushroom from before. The throne must have went away or something. It's-a me, Mario!
Yeah, I already knew that.
It's a Luigi time.
Who are you?
Bop!
Oh, you're all gonna say something, aren't you?
I don't have a catchphrase.
Okay, I'm just gonna get the show on the road.
Clenching his hand shut, the super mushroom disappeared in a glow of light, and a freshly enchanted Bowser grows to at least twice his already imposing size. With a roar that could be heard all the way from Space Zone, the final battle had begun. Cannonball turrets were firing in every direction. Bowser was breathing fire anywhere our heroes stood, and the king's gargantuan size made navigation treacherous, to say the least.
It's no use! He's impenetrable!
Oh, not so tough now! You're all just a bunch of paper tigers!
Mario, what do we do? We're in a bad spot. A warrior's death is rewarded by an eternity in the over there! Yeah!
With the mightiest leap ever seen conjured by any Toad, our blue hero masterfully trick-jumped from one cannonball to another, landing high upon the narrow defense tower which housed the cannons, as well as an inaccessible Koopa clown car, likely intended for emergency escapes.
Toad!
Bowser's attention still focused on the remaining trio, Toad takes the opportunity to once again vault higher yet into the sky and performs a furious high-altitude ground pound directly toward Koopa's skull.
For Princess Toadstool! For the Mushroom Kingdom!
Direct hit! Damage report? Null. Bowser's divine endowment has indeed made him impervious to any physical attacks made on his body. What a twist of fate that the group's latest mutation couldn't have been more potent. After bouncing off Bowser's dome, Toad pratfalls to the ground at the Koopa King's feet. Without a moment to recover, Bowser ferociously stomps on Toad, completely encompassing his whole body and smashing through floor tiles on the roof in the process.
Ah!
Bowser takes a step back, revealing a crushed, but alive, Toad.
I still have one hit left.
Toad retreats back to the group, albeit smaller than before.
This is it. We're gonna game over. Mario, we have to end this.
Mario takes a look at the crater in the floor where Toad's body was once pressed into. I've got an idea. It's an old trick, but it just might work. Everyone, get Bowser to stomp around and break the floor around us. He can't sustain a pitfall.
Can we? Down with the king!
With redoubled tenacity, Team Mario scatter and juke to entice Bowser to smash any stonework around him in his reckless rage. Layer by layer, the tiles crumble and the floor begins to crack and slump beneath the weight of the battling legends. Bowser, unaware of the budding situation, takes a forceful pounce into the air and, nearly pulverizing Luigi, comes down with the force of a sledge in freefall. There was a mighty crack, then silence. With a low rumble, the roof began to cave in, and bringing down with it the heft of Bowser's oversized body. Luigi barely jumps out of the falling debris before he's sucked into the gravity well along with the Koopa King. A tremendous thud resonates through every brick as Bowser confirms his sudden landing. Remaining one step ahead of the floor giving way, Team Mario reach the far side of the roof, opposite where they entered earlier, which is crumbling as I speak. A pipe leading back down into the castle is locked out of reach.
GG. Looking for this?
Luigi produces a key from his overalls.
I swiped it off Bowser when he took the dive.
Stable floor quickly fading, the four heroes enter the pipe with all due urgency. Its other end ejects the team into a small chamber located directly behind Koopa's throne room. To one side is a Bowser-sized door leading who knows where. To the other is another classic replica castle axe and a lava bridge suspending a ridiculous amount of explosives over a shaft that leads all the way down to the castle's magma core.
Are we in some sort of panic room or something?
This is it. The big red button.
Looks like your informant was right on the nose.
Better be. I paid him enough.
Mario, if we cut that rope, that's it for all of us. But I think we've done enough here. Koopa got the message, the whole world got the message. We even discovered a long-lost civilization.
Mario cuts the rope.
Zation.
With the lava bridge gone slack, the excessive megaton payload of POWs and bob-ombs plummets far, far down to the infernal depths beyond depths. Bowser can be heard scratching and screaming on the other side of the wall. He knows what they've done. From the purr of a kitten to the grumbling of a volcano in heat, the foundations of the castle had begun their dissolution into liquid rock. Stress fractures bolt across every block attached to the infrastructure like lightning shattering the sky. It is done.
I'd love to savor our victory, but maybe we should at least try to see if there's a way out from here. Let's start with the door behind us.
Upon the gang turning around, the aforementioned door was already wide open, and Luigi was nothing more than a dust cloud. Well, it seems our heroes have found themselves in quite a pickle here. The entirety of the Bowser Castle complex is currently experiencing a literal breakdown, castle and city alike. Lava is now breaching out of the few floors that weren't already pools of lava. Dislodged blocks from the tallest towers are crashing down to the ground at meteoric speeds. A dire quake of magnitude the likes of which has never been felt before echoes to every corner of Bowserland, causing even the ocean tides to stir into an uproar. This is the apocalypse, and our four courageous heroes find themselves trapped in the upper lofts of Bowser's castle with zero exit strategy.
Run, run, run! Don't gotta tell me twice!
The gang run for their lives down the crumbling hallways behind Bowser's throne room. Ceilings are caving down to the floor, and the corridors are filling with piles of wreckage. Warp pipes down to lower floors are broken and toppled out of place. All the while, the castle keeps violently shaking as its form gives way. After descending a few floors, navigating through all of the newly created obstacles, the group comes to a lone door at the end of a dead-end hallway. The other side leads them to the castle's exterior on Bowser's lofty garden balcony. Assuredly, this veranda is a scenic and peaceful retreat for those looking for a moment of respite. Right now, however, it's perhaps the last place our heroes wanted to find themselves.
This was just the path to the balcony? We've barely made any progress. We're not gonna make it.
Heh, end of the line after all. We can jump that tower out there. Follow me. In a last-ditch daredevil feat, Mario and company run straight off of the garden balcony and bound to the top of the nearest tower. Footing is poor as roof tiles are sliding out of place, but the crew sticks the landing thanks to their latest mutation. No time to catch their breath though. They proceed from tower to tower, climbing down when possible and availing themselves to the freshly exposed openings, offering them impromptu passages through the disaster space. Rocks raining from the sky and chunks of upper infrastructure screaming towards the earth below, Team Mario makes it to what is more or less ground level. I say more or less because there's really not much ground left by now. Most of the roads and sidewalks have deteriorated into a deathly scalding lock. Using whatever surfaces that are still available, the crew desperately claw their way to the furthest reaches of the Bowser Castle complex. In the final stretch, they hop their way over a series of half-submerged broken warp pipes to reach the first piece of solid ground they've seen since they were in the throne room. And with that, Team Mario has reached the mostly toppled great border wall surrounding Bowser Castle City. Escape!
Yeah, we did it! You can't stop Team Mario! I can't believe we're still alive.
Like I said, brother, you must have faith. The weary crew take one last look behind them as the remaining hunk of Bowser's castle implodes in upon itself. Sparks and lava shoot off in all directions like a devil's fireworks show. The incredible waves of heat from the eruption is too much for our heroes to bear.
I've been in volcanoes before and I've never felt this kind of heat.
I think we've overstayed our welcome here. Let's move to where the trees aren't on fire.
Agreed. I'm gonna melt if we stand here any longer.
Let's make our way back to the highway. We've got a long ride home ahead of us.
Navigating away from the citywide inferno and routing around all of the fallen debris, the crew arrive at the mouth of Bowser Highway. There, they rummage through another parking garage and happen to find 4 unattended vehicles because of plot reasons. Revved up and ready to go, Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Toadette take to the sunset-draped strip of asphalt that extends across the ocean, beyond the horizon line, all the way back to the Mushroom Kingdom. It's going to be a long ride, like Mario said, but at least the traffic should be light. As the exhausted heroes leisurely drive down the endless expanse of highway with only the sound of wind in their ears, they each ponder the adventure they had just endured. Toadette's head is swirling in excitement for all of the new discoveries made in Monstroland. Toad has a permanent smile glued to his face, reminiscing of all of the lives he extinguished. Luigi just realized that he may have forgotten to turn off the oven before joining Mario's crusade. And Mario, satisfied in the accomplishment of a job well done, recalls how the 4 of them got into this whole mess in the first place. It all started with a letter from Princess Peach. Over already? I know. Once you get invested in sightseeing, it's hard to stop. But like all good things, this tour, too, must come to an end. I certainly hope you enjoyed our journey. We were able to see Goomba Land, Koopa Land, Monstroland, and Bowser Land on a 3-continent tour package. You can't find that sort of a deal anywhere else in the Mushroom Kingdom. But once again, my name is Lord Coucha, and I'm proud to have served as your esteemed tour guide and occasional narrator in our travels. I hope you all have a safe ride home, and I hope to be seeing you all again soon. Bye!